And we are
Hello
live.
there, and good morning. Hello there, and good morning or good afternoon to everyone. My name is Dominic Phillips, and we're here today with VirtualPhotoWalks. And today we're going to take a little walk in the Puna District at the Lava Tree State National Monument. As you can tell, it's a little wet this morning. They don't call it a rainforest for nothing. But we are going to press on, and once we get back into the thick of it, the trees will help it out, and chances are this will move along pretty quickly. So thanks everyone for joining us. And along the way, if you have any questions or comments or you want to see anything, let me know, and we'll point the camera in the right direction for you.
Okay, it is just pouring there.
Woo! Look at that! All right, I'm gonna try and get this over the camera. There we go. Look at that. So again, this morning we have a couple visitors. This is my father, John Phillips, here.
Hey, Dad.
He woke up very early, so it's about 7 o'clock a.m. in Hawaii here. So he woke up with me and came down the road to walk with us today. And right out on the road, a little friend met us here. Hey, puppy pup. He's cleaning himself up from the rain, so he's a nice little puppy, and he's walking alongside us here. But again, this is a no pets allowed, and he's not my pet. You can tell we have a little bit of rain going on here.
Little bit of rain.
Little bit. And again, we'll get to some more covered areas as we get through. You can see this the parking lot has a nice surround of all of these giant monkey pod and koa trees. We're going to see this whole little area. Ooh.
You had a cat, it would be raining cats and dogs.
Exactly. So it's a good park. I got bathroom facilities down here. And the next little building that we'll get to is something that they've built up in a couple years. Now we're going to stop and see a whole bunch of plant life that I have no idea what it is. So if we see signs, we will read them. Oh, puppy, you don't have an umbrella. All right.
That's pretty.
So if we see here, we'll get closer to a couple of these signs. But you're going to notice they all say, area closed, hazardous cliffs. And if you look around, you're like, well, it's like a little pit there. But if we look over to our right here, and we're going to go down to this hole in the earth down here. A beautiful rainy morning here. So this side, and I'll have to lift you up a little bit to get up and over this, I think. But we'll get these through the fence view here. Woo! That puppy just goes straight down. So I'm going to lift up a little bit here. Let's see if we can steady a signal.
Great shot.
So that goes down, who knows? Who knows? But that's why you stay away. And the water falling in this is actually a great example here. And the thing about areas like this that's sort of key as we get down the road a little bit. We'll get one more view here. There's another nice one. That water is going to be a little treat for us. So we have even more treats coming up. We have old lava shelves there. And huge tree roots coming through the lava shelf. stuck in the fence. Oh, see, look, there's some sun starting back there. Eventually, I think a lot of this moisture is going to be pulled up mountain, and we'll be left with a good day. Now, there are some more cliffs back up and over in that direction, and this drop-off back there is huge. So that's why this has a big fenced area around it.
Those colors are so rich. It's beautiful.
Oh, yeah. You know, Puna District is probably my favorite on this side, I gotta say. Now, the reason that we want to stay on trail here, so we're gonna look here on our right, we see just at the bottom of your screen here, a little lava cap, and right here is a little break. So it opens up to a little bit of darkness there. The thing is, that could go 100 feet down, just like the one that's right next to it. So, while most all of the ground is very, very stable, you do really want to stay on trail here. There's definitely more than enough to see, and we're going to get back even to the further trail here. Oh yeah, already starting to lighten up a good bit. There's our puppy friend hanging out with us. And this is a little shelter that they built, and we're gonna take a half a break here out of the rain and shake off before we keep going.
My God, it's
and oh yeah, oh here we go. So we're just gonna take a minute or two and get some views from here, and we will start to see. Yeah. Well, it's always a fun time, no matter what. No matter what. Okay, so this pile right here, this is the reason for the season. Or rather, the park, it's called the Lava Tree State National Monument, something. When the lava flowed through here, it was flowing fast. Let me get my tripod set. Fast and hot, but some of the trees in this area, you notice just back up behind us, you know, just how massive some of these trees are here. When the lava came through, it came through so quick that it surrounded the husk of the tree and then formed shells around the tree. So you actually have little bits of trees that are still or were still left in these things, and we'll pop out and take a look at this one. And then as we get into the park here, and this is just right on a little trail area because we're in the picnicking spot. But if we look, we can see that is where the trunk of the tree used to be. If you can hear that in the background, that's a coqui frog. Now those coqui frogs over here, yeah, I'll tell you a little story about those. Those are an invasive species. They got here, I think, in 1989. And they're about the size of a dime, except they're interbreeding with some of the local frogs and getting a little bit bigger. So there are up to, in infested areas out there, 10,000 of those frogs per acre.
Oh, gosh.
The males, when they make their sound, can call at up to 90 decibels. At night, thankfully, that's the only time they come out. If any of you guys ever stay on Hilo side or Puna side, or I'm going to make a little video and post it later of what it's like tonight. But it is just a complete chorus of coqui frogs. And if you can catch the sound, they sound like they're saying coqui, coqui. And that's how they have gotten their howly name. All right, so that little, oh, there's a coqui frog. Oh, look at this. Okay, hold on one second. We're gonna come down and get him here. Sorry about the tripod, but where'd he go? Oh, he jumped. There he is. Oh my gosh, he jumps like 5 feet.
Get him.
Okay, we're gonna sneak up. He is just a little spot.
Oh, wow.
Oh my. Oh my.
Oh, my word.
He's tiny.
Do you see that? Do you see that little guy?
Well, they're very tiny.
Oh, there he goes. And he's gone. And he's gone. He's a smart one. I like frog legs. Oh yeah, so we got some nice sun peeking out. You know, I guarantee in just a couple minutes, well, it'll either be a downpour again, or we'll be able to put the umbrella out. So we're also getting up to some information signs. I'll read those. It'll tell you a little bit more about these. So here again, we see some of the collapsed lava trees. So this one has its tree hole right there. And so originally, a lot of these, it's not just that hole, but they would be totally crusted around with lava. And then over the years, some of this lava has broken and fallen apart. But what we will see coming up here are actually some examples of full and intact lava trees.
Oh, cool.
Your bandwidth is perfect, Dominic.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Check that, the birds of paradise there. And some of these I used to know a lot more names, and I'm working on it. But right here, and we'll look at some of them from a distance here, and then we'll read some signs and get closer. But we have one great big lava tree right up in front of us there. And then also one on the right over there. So we're gonna take a look here. So we're gonna just take a look here at these couple. And I'm going to read our little sign here. And this is creating a lava tree mold. So this grove, it was a grove of mature ohia trees with an understory of hay ferns covers this entire land. This is all part of the Kilauea volcano, and plants thrive in the rich, moist, organic soils formed atop the earlier flows of Pahoehoe lava. Now, in the 17th or 18th century, a fiery eruption of Kilauea sends red-hot lava flowing down the slopes of the volcano. Crackling and thundering sounds of falling and burning trees follow in the wake of the lava flow. The tree molds record the maximum thickness of the lava as it passes the ohia trees. And then as the lava recedes, a stark black landscape remains with the ropey textures of the Pahoehoe lava marks the exterior of the tree molds. And then in a matter of months, new life appears and new growth of lichens, ferns, and all of the grasses in the moist cracks start getting life back to the forest here. And we'll get up on these guys here. And I think they have like 31 examples of these. Hey, Dad, do you want to stand next to the tree? We'll give you guys a little example of size here. So yeah, that's just the base of one of the trees there. And this is one of the better examples here, because again, we'll see a lot of these that have kind of cracked and crumbled around, and part of taking care of the park, has been, they've piled them up, so you kind of see where the piles came from. But we'll just pop around and take a good look at these. There's a couple in the back that are really tall. Last year they had some really nice orchids coming out of them. Oh yes, so we're gonna one more time. This is the great park sign here. Dangerous earth cracks in park area.
I like that sign.
And so the trail we're going to go on, we're going to pop back over here a little bit. And again, part of what I was saying is why we're staying on the trail, because I love to go off. But even right here, we have a nice little lava cap. Yeah, the dog's going to show us. He says rules are not for dogs. But yeah, in all these different areas here, you can see little cracks and holes. Again, a couple. Those are the ones we're leaving there, and this area is going to be probably the higher bit of concentration of the lava trees. But we're going to explore this whole little walkway here if we can today. So some areas we'll pick up and stop and take a look at some of the trees here. Again, if any of you guys have any questions, or you want to see anything in particular, or you want to stop along the way, just let me know, and we will do our best.
Jamie Todd's been putting links, information into the chat, so they've got lots to look at. Oh,
excellent. Oh, perfect. So tell you what, I think we are almost, excellent, we are almost at a point where I'm going to put away here my umbrella. I know what that means. Aha. I know what that means. So we see, here's a little bitty, not a sea arch, but a land arch. You can see through that to the other side over there. Now, the one that I remember some orchids growing out of a couple of years ago, back here, and this is a great little example of the forest reclaiming its own here. But the one we're walking towards, and we're gonna stop at the bottom of it so you can really get this view. So, we've already gone over that these lava trees are, just that. They are old trees. Oh, he's got a little lake around the bottom of him here. We'll just chill here, and again, a little crack in the hole, cracking the hole there. But we've already talked about that these guys are old trees, and that nature kind of reclaims itself on these. But if we go all the way up top, we have more than just ferns. We have a whole another tree growing out of this tree.
Wow.
And I'm going to scoot just half a bit here so we can get that tree in a good frame. Oh, here we go. Let you see. There we go.
That's cool.
Just out of the very top, because that top has just collected enough sediment over the years.
Wow.
That right out of the top of it. I'll let the camera sit down. There we go. I'll go up quick and say, yeah, right out the top.
Mm-hmm.
So areas like this are not, I don't want to say any richer in story than some of the rest of the island, but stories about the Menehune in places like this are definitely just easier to believe. The Menehune, Menehune, were a mythical race of little people that the ancient Fijians who arrived here and colonized this area first, say inhabited the islands before they did. So they are similar to leprechaun stories or gremlins and things like that.
That's a great shot with that tree growing out. That's wonderful.
As we clear up on the way out, I might get bold and bring my camera out. And if I do, then we will again get those up on the event page. But now we are going to venture back into a little bit more of the natural forest. And a beautiful thing about Hawaii also is that if you are an orchid fan, they are everywhere. So now there's hundreds of species of orchids. So that's a wild orchid right there. And I'm not going to be able to tell you what kind it is. But some people are definitely knowledgeable about all of the orchids. We have places called Orchid Land here. We have orchid farms. Not my dog, National Park System. Not my puppy. But he's a good boy. I think he was very cold and he might have been lost. Even though we are in a park area, we do have, there are houses and B&Bs and roads just right off of here. So chances are just a neighbor dog running around. The feral animals are the cats in Hawaii. The cats and the chickens are the ones that roam wild. And I'm up in the air on whether or not I hope we see a pig or not. So we're staying just a little bit down the ways, maybe 10 minutes down the road. And the property we're on is fully fenced in because of the pigs. Also, here we see a lava tree that has fallen over. So you can imagine, here's its base. And then you have this whole column tree that has fallen over, and you can see where the tree trunk used to be there. And you can see how tall this tree was by its footprint here. Hello, good morning. You're joining us at the Lava Tree State Monument in Puna District, Big Island, Hawaii. Here's another beautiful little tree on top. And this is just nature reclaiming here.
That is so cool.
And so we are back in the ferns, and so this is very much the natural appearance of this land when all of this lava flowed through it. So you see we have a lower, almost complete ground cover of ferns, and then a lot of the bigger trees creating a mid and then also upper canopy.
Just let it clear up a bit, Dominic. Just let it clear up a bit.
Oh yeah, here, let me put my...
Yeah, I was just going to ask that.
Yeah. Yeah, with so many leaves, it might as well be moving water here, I think.
There you go. It's about a 10-second delay.
Oh, gotcha. All right. About 10 seconds, and we're clearing up here.
I think it was clear at the beginning. You've moved a little bit.
Oh, gotcha.
Not bad.
Well, we're gonna pop down over here one more time. Yeah, we're lucky, you know, just a couple miles away at where we're staying, there was no signal at all. So I was a little worried. Well, here's a monster one on our right here. Let that do that, and again, by like monster one there. Aha, I got out of your way. So if you can imagine what the scene was like, again, when this lava flowed through. So right now, we were checking the lava, because this is one of the only, I think it's the only area in the world where lava has an exit into the ocean. So that is always a big thing to see. Sometimes you can see it from the end of the road up on the hill. You can see the glow of lava. Oh, stop right.
How close are you to the active volcano, Don?
Oh, well, we're on top of the active volcano. Kilauea, Kilauea is huge and actually makes up most of this side of the island as far as Puna District, Hilo, Kau. It covers many different districts. So the entire volcano is active, although it only vents in certain areas. One of which is the Volcano National Park, which is where you can view the Kilauea crater. And we went up there yesterday, and you can see it's you can see the lava steam venting from the top of the crater up there, and you can't see any lava up there, but you can see the original crater that when they had some famous writer, and I'm horrible with this, but he you know, kind of like Mark Twain, you know, detailed a lot of his adventures. This guy explained that this caldera was really just an image of hell. You know, that it was just this spitting, frothy, fiery sea. And it's really interesting. You can find information on Kilauea, and you know, it has since become a little less dramatic, but it's just still a beautiful place to see. Now, years ago, about 3 years ago, when the lava was flowing close to this side, you could actually walk to it over at the end of Kalapana, which is about 30 miles down the road. And I was lucky enough to poke it with a stick, respectfully. But now, not only is it not flowing into the on this side and into the ocean, it is flowing east into the woods, and there's talk that it's speculation and rumors that it might cross another road, which if it crosses the road, it pretty much cuts off this entire lower area from access. And that's what happened, I think, back in the 1970s or 1960s with a road called the Chain of Craters Road. And this is a nice little temple of hay out there for giving respects or spending, you know, some quiet time. But yeah, now there's talk about the road closing, and you can see some pretty iconic photos from the Big Island of Hawaii, where you have a no parking sign, and it's covered in lava. That's at the end of the road there. You know, it's pretty. I mean, it's a great drive, and there's lots of petroglyphs there. Looks like we have, I think, our hibiscus maybe this morning starting to peek out. You know, again, we are just, you know, an hour past sunrise out here in Puna. So we have a lot of our nighttime blooming plants that are closing up, but also a lot of our daytime plants that are just starting to stretch out.
That's cool.
You can really get some wafts of some very aromatic flowers here. And here we can see the difference between our lower vegetation and ferns and flowers, and then, you know, that's more of a middle canopy style trees.
We're streaming this into Facebook as well, so you can watch it on Facebook on the Virtual PhotoWalks page. If you have any friends that that's more convenient for them, just let them know.
Excellent. Now, my mom was very happy. We were talking about that this morning. My mom is a Facebooker, and she was so happy that she can now just get to it with a click via there. Yep. I do my best as far as introducing new tech levels, but it's awesome that we're reaching out to all sorts of people here. So I'll show you one more. Here's another good example of these couple of different canopies. Now, I'll let it sit again each time. Here's a great big tree that has fallen. But we have the ground cover, which I'll let these guys sit for a bit.
And these great images, this bandwidth brought to you by a Verizon as well. So we thank those guys for helping out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I'm keeping their piece nice and dry in my bag here. Or sort of dry. So we have the ferns here, and I explained that the trees back here, I called them a bit of a mid-canopy, because if you see, they kind of go up straight up and then terminate. So they're more the mid-canopy there. And then I'm going to go ahead and turn, and just up and above us, we're going to see there is the high canopy. So we have about 3 different levels here. You know, some rainforests will have, you know, 5 and 6 total canopy levels, and but we do also have the you know, different wildlife for different levels here. The big thing again, pigs. Pigs, I'm sure, are running around through here. In fact, I almost want to say that looks like a pig trail right up off here. Just in this general area, you know, I think within maybe a mile in this area, they're saying that there's probably 300 to 400 adult pigs. Yeah, that looks like a pig trail to me. So we're gonna stop here for a second.
That's terrible.
Oh yeah, if you well, that's what the dog thinks about the pig trail. Yeah, the pigs out here, they get big. We're talking like some 600-800 pound looking things. Like they are as long as a car is wide.
That's a lot of bacon.
And oh, it's a lot of bacon. And actually, it's a lot of Kalua pig. So Kalua pig is the pig that that's the method of cooking it under the ground. And it's good. We had some Kalua pig wontons. So here's a little lava hole here too, a lava tube. And we had up in Volcanoes National Park, we had the opportunity to walk through a lava tube. It's a huge one. It's about 20 foot in diameter. But how these guys are created? Dog's listening and shaking. So these guys, when the lava flows, it's flowing very, very quickly. However, that means that the outside edges, which are touching, you know, touching the air, are getting cooled off. So it starts to cool and harden the top of it, but that leaves an insulated area in the middle for the lava to just continue to flow through unabated. In fact, these lava tubes will cause the lava to exit miles and miles and miles from the volcano's crater. And And some of the bigger ones, there's one in Puna here. It's a kind of a secret, but it's about 2.5 miles long, and you can hike it.
You're kidding.
And there's one right up in the Volcanoes Park. It's nice and lit, and it has safety rails, and it's an awesome little 15-minute trip. But there you learn a little bit more about the temperature. So, and there again, it's a 20-foot wide lava tube, and it's just, it's been almost glass-like in places, how smooth it is. And there's all sorts of different lava formations. You can get kind of stalactite style formations in there. But that lava in the center, in the big ones, I think is around 1,200 degrees and flows at between 40 and 60 miles per hour. So you'll see these little lava tubes all over the island.
Is that sunshine?
We'll see. That is sunshine. That is some beautiful, beautiful sunshine. And showing us one more lava tube right there. Again, these little ones are all over the island. This island itself, again, it's made of nothing but lava rock. So this is lava rock, and then things that have blown here or washed up here or we brought here. And that's how everything we're looking at got here. So we'll again just cover some ground through this forested area, and a great place to spot for rare plants. I mean, if you can tell, I know we're walking past it and it's a blur right now, but there's so many little hidden gems back here as far as flowers, orchids, rare plants, birding. If you are a bird watcher, the Big Island is a good place. Unfortunately, because of our mongoose, that they brought the mongoose over to kill the rats that they brought over that were killing things. But mongoose and rats hunt during different times, so we just brought over more stuff to kill the birds. And this was, early 1900s. People didn't know. And so unfortunately, the Big Island has about 70% less native birds than some of the other islands. So a lot of the other islands do not have mongoose, and they have a very strict and aggressive ways of dealing with mongoose that they do find there, because they don't want it to destroy their ecosystem. The coqui frog issue, also, those guys came up, I think, from the Caribbean in the late 80s, and almost all of the other islands have managed to eliminate their coqui frog problems. But the Big Island, by its nature of just being big, the state unfortunately dropped the funding for the coqui frog eradication program last year. They decided it was a losing battle, and it was cheaper for everyone just to buy earplugs than it was to try to get rid of the coqui frogs.
Well, you said 10,000 every acre?
Up to 10,000 coqui frogs per acre, and the males calling at 90 decibels. So for a couple of you guys that have joined us in on that last loop of the walk, and people watching on Facebook and YouTube and Google+, we'll go over a little bit of the park here. We are at the Lava Tree State Monument in Puna District, Big Island, Hawaii. And what we're looking at right now is a shell of lava that formed around a huge tree trunk. So these trees are long since gone. This has been, I think they said 200-something years ago. And we'll even take a look here, and you can see, now I'm staying on the trails, but pardon my tripod here, but you can see now those holes where the trees used to be. So these are just solid shells of lava. Some of them in better condition than others. And when we get back to the entrance of the park, which we're sort of nearing. You can see some other just great examples. And we'll stop. We have some standing examples over here on our right as well. And we're glad that the sun has joined us today, finally. We'll give that just a bit. And again, I can't remember. I think there's somewhere between 30 and 40 specimens of these lava rock trees here.
Well, that one of the trees
in this park.
One was excellent. That's gorgeous.
Oh yeah, yep. That was quite a trip seeing that. You know, and we have had we've seen one little sitting area. Here's also a nice hidden back here, other little contemplative areas within the park. I'm talking a little loud for you guys. Sometimes a lot of these places, up in the volcano as well, they ask that you just be respectful and speak in a quiet voice. A lot of these areas do have religious and spiritual or just historical significance to a lot of people. And it's good enough. I'm going to pull my camera out here. So again, sometime I am in the middle of nowhere as far as normal signal goes, but I will try and get some photos up from here so we can see some full resolution stuff.
When Dominic started this about 45 minutes ago, he was getting very drenched.
Oh yes, it was pouring down. My dad, who's joining us today, is the official umbrella holder here now. He's joining us from Knoxville, Tennessee. His first time on the Big Island here. And we have another little friend with us today. A dog followed us out from the road. And I want to, one more time, not my dog. He's a good boy, but you're not allowed to bring dogs into the park. And that's really because this is a very dangerous area with all of these cracks in the earth. We have some more in the background there, and you can just see this one has a nice little hole in it that you can see through to the forest just behind it. Yeah, it looks like a little castle almost back there. And we will pop through. And again, we have the flowers that are trading places about now. So you have here's our friend that's been hanging out with us here. He also we found him mid rainstorm this morning, so he might have been a little freaked out that it was raining, and we'll see. Here's another little.
I'm sure everybody loves taking that dog along for a walk just as much.
Oh yeah. We'll stay through. Yeah. So I see some papaya trees. I'll see if I can get a good view of these. And you might just be able to, again, it's tough to make it out against the rest of the canopy here, but if I look, these guys right here and right there, those are papaya trees. These guys were, normally planted, and we do have, papaya plantations here. But those papaya trees, they can be transplanted by birds, by pigs, by mongoose, all sorts of ways to transmit that. And then we can also see in kind of the mid canopy here, it's also, I moved my tripod, all sorts of plants that grow up on other plants. So a lot of the lower canopy and ground plants, can't get up that high and compete for jungle resources like some of the other ones can. So a lot of them, just like normal vines and everywhere else, have developed, each plant has its place. And other plants help others along. A lot of it's kind of a mutually beneficial parasitic relationship. And we're just going to break out into the entrance area again, which is a bit more manicured. We just walked through what the forest really would have looked like, a couple hundred years ago, before this was made into a park.
Well, that's a great one.
We'll look at this guy here. And on the ground on this one, we see it's broken up, and you can see areas where it just disappears.
You get a still of that one for me, Dominic. That'll be our cover shot.
All right. And also, it may be silly, but I kind of like the lines of there's a couple of nice little photo spots here where the lines of these walkways really work well with the rest of the foliage here. There's a couple really cool trees coming up here too. And then again, when we get out in front, they've planted a whole bunch of different varieties of Hawaiian flowers and plants. So whereas we've seen a lot of the natural stuff, let's take a look at some of the little yellow flowers here, opening up here for the morning. They just got a nice morning drink. We all got a nice little morning drink. I'm sure I smell like I haven't been in the jungle for days anymore. No promises. No promises. Some beautiful little ferns rising out here.
That's a gorgeous
from the undergrowth. Beautiful spot, beautiful spot. And yeah, we kind of hustled through this front area here because we were getting poured on with rain. But we will take a little more time here. You can see the. I'm going to move to the right here a little bit. We're going to see this giant tree here. Like pine needles. Yeah, and it looks like pine needles. And again, we're just looking at the base here, so I'm going to give it the base there, and then we will go ahead and look up and see. Big, fluffy, pine needle-looking tree that we're underneath here. There's a big tree. A couple of them. And he is expansive. I don't have the lens of the camera to get this whole thing in. But it is a beautiful tree here. And then there's one more behind it that I've tried to get to, and we have to get from down this way. And again, this is what I was talking about. Sometimes even just the rolls of the land here, you know, how they've put everything together here, it really has a nice flow to it. You know, and we've taken our time, you know, on this, and, you know, by the time we get up to the front there, you know, again, it's about an hour, but you can, you know, I could probably quick walk this in, you know, 5 or 10 minutes if I just wanted to get through to it. So here to the left, we'll get a little silhouette of some of these bigger ones here, and then pan and show you some of these other lava trees.
That was a true Hawaiian experience, starting out in the rain and seeing how fast it cleared up.
Yep. So even when we were driving here, my dad was a little worried. And I said, oh, we're still a half hour out. Like, if it rains for more than half hour at a time, something's probably wrong. And here we have some we can start to see in the distance there some more of the lava trees.
Dominic, can you go to the left a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right there. Actually, just a little bit more. Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And Betsy, see, that's because exactly that's why we're here. So if any of you guys follow Betsy's lead there, just let me know what you want to see. You know, I'm here for you. I mean, if you just want to sit there and take it in, I understand that too, but don't feel shy about asking for something.
And they've been using the camera a lot, Dominic.
Oh yeah, I can hear it, and I always see that, and I try to anticipate it, but I'm sure that I pick it up as a lot of you guys are taking photos.
Every time it gets stable, it sounds like a machine gun in here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, well, it's been a beautiful morning. What was this? Oh yeah, so again we're hearing a lot of birds in the background, but there's also a coqui frog or two there. Here, and we'll get a view over this guy.
Oh, wow.
And we can see a lava tree here, collapsed ones here in the background. And as we get up front here, you will see the giant cracks in the earth. Got some people waving. I'm waiting for a park ranger to come over here and yell at me about my dog. and we'll pop back over to that. A couple more individual views here. Again, before that lava came in, that tree looked a lot like that tree. And so if we back up, I'm going to see if I can fit in a side-by-side. Yeah, so we can see what a lava tree looks like and what the lava, or what the tree looked like before the lava here. If you missed our description earlier, that's essentially what had happened, was that when this area was taken by a huge and fast lava flow, that while it took down as many trees as it could, some of them were just too big, and so it formed these huge shells of lava. We'll give you another dangerous stay on trail, dangerous earth cracks in area. Dangerous earth crack in area.
My hip.
Oh, careful. And a lot of people see those signs and wonder, well, what do you mean dangerous earth cracks? And we will be walking up on one here pretty soon. I wanted to get one more shot here. I'll sit down and give this a moment or two. And then we'll pop around and see a pretty good variety of Hawaiian vegetation here. And then we will see some of the dangerous cracks in the earth that they were talking about.
From a distance.
From a distance. From a distance. No, okay, I'm not gonna do that. Yes. Yeah. So again, we are lucky enough to see that we have some of those large standing ones because, you know, the forest reclaims itself. So here we see on the left, that used to be a standing lava tree that throughout the years just sort of broke down. And it does that because that tree, it rots out inside. So the tree gets killed by the lava. It just doesn't get fell by the lava or fallen by the lava. And then throughout the years, you know, that tree just breaks down. So these things are hollow, and then they catch all sorts of leaves and debris, and things grow up from inside them. I'm gonna give you a slow little pan here to maybe see if we can get the whole ground to canopy.
Oh.
That's great. What a shot. That's stupid.
Oh, almost! There's the top! So we're talking a good 200-300 feet of some of these monkey pod trees and koa trees. And, you know, in the background there, you can see, you know, them just reaching out up and over everything in the area.
Can you go back to the right?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Yeah, that's perfect.
Excellent. So we're going to have a, yeah. All right, so we'll pop down here, and on the left, again, they did some plantings in this area, and the plants have taken off. So we will pop over here to where we get a little bit of a good view. Oh my, in full sun, it's about time to take off the sweatshirts, and now here, up here, I'll stop at this little point. And again, we'll be able to see the giant cracks in the earth in the other one. Right now, we're just given a hint right there of where the giant crack in the earth is. Also, just to our right, we can see back there, it gets a little dark and spooky. And I'm going to pop right up on this hill to our right and then let you guys settle the signal down and get a view of this whole lower area. Let's see if we can, yeah, it'd be great. Can we get above the fence? Oh, we can get close. There we go.
That is beautiful.
You can really hear the birds.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all sorts of good birds. Again. We have
Dominic, what's the temperature down there?
the temperature?
Yeah.
Gosh, you know, well, this morning it was raining solid and it was very, very cold. Already now, I'm saying since that sun came out, it's probably 80 and getting warmer.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so up here, right next to the parking lot, is one of the dangerous cracks in the earth they talk about. And I think the sun is really going to give us a good view here. Whew, that sun is getting us. And we'll take a moment here, and I'm even going to bring the tripod up just one more level, see if you guys can get a good view of this. Now, first thing this morning, this thing was a waterfall. A couple of you guys have some photos of that. Again, let me just raise this up a little bit here for you guys, and we'll see if we can get a nice steady shot. And one more leg.
There we go.
I'm gonna move the.
Oh, perfect.
How deep is that?
We still have a.
How
You
deep is
know,
that?
I cannot see the bot. Well, maybe I can see. I can see about maybe 40 feet down. But the thing is, that doesn't mean that's as deep as it is. That could go all the way down. Yeah, and this morning the parking lot was flooded and all off of this right side. And I'm sure I heard some people taking some screenshots, so I'm sure that there'll be a photo or two in the event section there.
Oh, yes.
Excellent. And we'll pop over here, give you a little view, and then we have pretty much come full circle here today.
Yeah.
Give you a nice view, and we'll close in front of the. Oh, that's my back there, sir. Aha. We're gonna cover some ground quick and get another view.
When that's like son of a gun, he was solid for the whole time, and just as he's ready to close, he drops him.
Oh,
He'll be back.
okay.
That
That was pretty cool, though.
was flawless, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was amazing.
It could have been as race get low, or sometimes the phone overheats a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw that somebody we've been trying to connect with, Betsy, is on here, so we're going to have to reach out
Well, I
to
hope it didn't fall into a crack.
her. There he comes.
There we are. They just every once in a while, it just gotta. It keeps us humble. Keeps us humble here.
Yes. Couldn't have a perfect show.
You know, yeah. Well, you know, and that is part of it. You know, part of it's just getting out here and doing your best and showing people what's around you. You know, I try to remind people that I by no means am an expert in anything. So all the information that I share with you is just stuff that I've, you know, kind of found along the way. I try to do a little bit of research every now and then, but I always encourage you guys to follow up out there in the internet, and you know, anything that piques your curiosity, follow up on it. There's always a wealth of information out there. In fact, in Hawaii, there's so many great stories that you should definitely take a little bit of time and read up on them on your own. So today, again, we have been in the Lava Tree State Monument in the Puna District, and we're on Big Island. Thank you guys all for joining us. Oh yeah, we are. We are. So thanks again for joining us, everyone. I hope you guys had some great sights. Since it did clear up, I managed to get a couple of photos. Those will go up one day.
Bye-bye.
So thanks again for joining us.
Thank you, Dominic.
Thank you, Dominic.
Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Dominic Phillips from Virtual Photo Walks always does a super job.